They thought $300 was enough to buy my silence. They were dead wrong. My name is Brian Patterson, and I'm 47 years old. For 9 years, I was the guy keeping Apex Energy Systems network security running smooth as silk. Before that, I spent 8 years in the Navy handling IT systems aboard the USS Theodore Roosevelt and later at Naval Base Norfolk. When you're responsible for communication networks that keep a carrier battle group connected, you learn real fast that failure isn't an option. The Navy taught me 3 things that served me well in corporate America: document everything, plan for the worst-case scenario, and never leave your people hanging. Too bad corporate executives never learned those lessons. I'm not the flashy type. No corner office, no fancy title, no MBA on my wall. I was just the guy they called at 2 a.m. when their networks were on fire and nobody else could figure out what went wrong. I kept Apex's infrastructure humming through 4 acquisitions, 3 major system upgrades, and more all-nighters than I care to count. My divorce 3 years ago? That was partly on me for choosing servers over family dinners too many times, but I had my reasons. My son Josh is 17 now, heading to Texas A&M next year if his grades hold up. Between alimony payments and saving for his college tuition, I couldn't afford to be anything but indispensable, or so I thought. The day everything went sideways started during Hurricane Harvey. Houston was getting hammered like I hadn't seen since Hurricane Isabel hit Norfolk back in 2003. Our data centers were running on backup power and half the city was underwater. I was monitoring everything from our emergency command center downtown, watching traffic patterns that looked wrong. See, when you've spent years watching network flows in combat environments, you develop a sixth sense about what normal looks like. During Harvey, with everyone working remote and VPNs maxed out, our monitoring tools were getting overwhelmed. But there were patterns in the data that didn't match the chaos. Too organized, too persistent. Someone was using the storm as cover to probe our defenses. I called our security vendor first. They said their monitoring tools weren't showing any anomalies, but they were probably looking at aggregate data instead of the granular stuff I was seeing. I pulled up our internal dashboards and started correlating timestamps with access patterns. That's when I knew we had a problem. 3 different IP ranges were systematically probing our customer database APIs, not random script kiddie stuff. This was professional reconnaissance. They were mapping our infrastructure while everyone was distracted by the storm. Classic military tactics: attack during confusion. So I did what any responsible engineer would do. I bought a $300 network analyzer with my personal credit card and integrated it into our monitoring stack. The tool was called DeepFlow Pro. Nothing fancy, but it could parse packet headers in real time and identify traffic patterns that our existing tools missed. Within 2 hours of deployment, it caught 3 separate intrusion attempts. The attackers were using compromised IoT devices, probably storm-damaged security cameras and routers that had default passwords. They were tunneling through these devices to probe our internal network segments. If they'd gotten through, they would have had access to billing data for every major oil company in Texas. I documented everything: timestamps, attack vectors, compromised device signatures, even the geographic distribution of the botnet. Then I implemented countermeasures and updated our firewall rules to block the attack patterns. Crisis averted. When the storm passed and everyone was back in the office, I submitted my expense report for the $300 analyzer. Seemed routine. The tool had literally saved us from a major data breach. I included a summary of what it caught and recommended we purchase licenses for the whole security team. 3 weeks later, Ryan Caldwell showed up at my desk. Ryan was our new CTO, hired 6 months earlier, fresh from Yale Business School. He was 35, drove a Tesla, and had never worked anywhere that didn't have a stock ticker symbol. His background was strategic technology leadership at consulting firms, the kind of guy who thought synergy was a technical term. His first month, he'd reorganized our entire department around agile methodologies and cross-functional optimization. Translation: he fired our most experienced database admin and replaced him with 2 junior developers who cost less combined than what the veteran made. "Brian, we need to talk about this expense," he said, holding up his phone like it was evidence in a murder trial. I looked at the screen. My $300 analyzer purchase highlighted in red with denied stamped across it. "What about it?" "It's pending approval. That tool prevented a major security breach during the hurricane." Ryan's smile got tighter. "You violated procurement policy. Personal purchases for company use create security risks and financial impropriety. We can't have employees bypassing our vendor management process." I stared at him for a moment. Ryan, we were in the middle of a natural disaster. Normal procurement takes 3 weeks minimum. By then, half of Houston would have known our customers' billing information. Policy is policy, Brian. What if that software had malware? What if it compromised our systems? You put the entire company at risk. I've been doing this since before you graduated college. The software came from a reputable vendor. It was properly sandboxed, and it saved our asses. Where's my reimbursement? Denied. Unauthorized spending is your problem, not ours. That's when I realized this wasn't about the money or the policy. This was about a 35-year-old MBA showing the old Navy guy who was boss. Ryan had been looking for an excuse to flex his authority, and my $300 expense gave him the perfect opportunity. So let me get this straight, I said, keeping my voice level. You're refusing to pay me back for preventing a security breach because I didn't fill out the right forms during a hurricane? I'm refusing because you violated company policy. This is grounds for immediate termination. The words hit me like a cold wave. You're firing me? Security will escort you out? Your things will be mailed. Just like that, 9 years gone. Not for poor performance, my annual reviews were spotless. Not for misconduct, I'd never even had a written warning. For spending $300 to protect a company worth $2 billion. The security guard was a kid who looked barely old enough to vote. He kept apologizing as we rode the elevator down 30 floors. I walked out into the Houston heat carrying my coffee mug and a small cactus I'd kept on my desk since my first day. Standing on the sidewalk outside Apex Tower, watching people stream past in their business suits, something clicked in my head. A memory from my Navy days when our commanding officer taught us about asymmetric warfare. Sometimes the smaller force wins by making the larger force defeat itself. I pulled out my phone and scrolled to a contact I hadn't called in months. Jessica Martinez, my old roommate from community college who'd gone to law school and specialized in intellectual property. Time to find out what my 9 years of institutional knowledge was really worth. Jessica Martinez answered on the third ring. Brian Patterson, what's it been, 6 months? Please tell me you're not calling because Josh got arrested. Nothing like that. Got time for lunch? I need to talk through some licensing issues. There was a pause. Licensing issues? That sounds serious. You okay? I glanced back at Apex's gleaming tower. I will be. How about that place on Main Street? The one with the overpriced sandwiches? Bistro 41? I'll be there in an hour. Jessica was already seated when I arrived, sharp in a Navy suit that probably cost more than my monthly car payment. She'd come a long way from our community college days when we'd split pizza and study for finals together. She'd gone on to law school while I'd enlisted, but we'd kept in touch over the years. You look like someone just shot your dog, she said as I sat down across from her. Close enough. Got fired this morning over a $300 expense. Her eyebrows shot up. After 9 years? Brian, that's got to be wrongful termination. Texas has some protections even in at-will states. I shook my head. They covered their bases. Violation of procurement policy, unauthorized financial expenditure, potential security risk. Their lawyers probably wrote the termination letter before Ryan even called me into his office. Ryan? New CTO. Yale MBA, 0 real-world experience. He's been looking for an excuse to clean house of us old-timers. I just handed him one on a silver platter. Jessica leaned forward. So what's this about licensing? Please tell me you didn't sign some horrible non-compete. I opened my laptop and pulled up my GitHub repositories. This is why I called. These are network security protocols I developed on my own time, with my own equipment over the past 4 years. I've been integrating them into Apex's systems because they needed solutions and I had them. She scrolled through the file structure, examining timestamps and commit messages. MIT license here, Apache there. Brian, this is some serious code. Wait. She stopped on one repository. This one has a custom license, ThreatGuard Pro. I wrote that license myself 4 years ago, free for personal, academic, and open source use. But any for-profit company needs a commercial license for production deployment. Jessica read the license terms carefully. This is actually pretty clever. You retain all ownership, grant limited rights for evaluation, but commercial use requires explicit licensing, and the penalties for violation are substantial. I pulled up Apex's deployment logs, system monitoring data, and integration records. They've been running ThreatGuard Pro across their entire infrastructure for 3 years. Every firewall, every intrusion detection system, every threat correlation engine. It's not just integrated, it's foundational. How foundational. Remove my code and their entire security architecture collapses. They'd have to rebuild from scratch, and that would take months, maybe years. Jessica was quiet for a long moment, studying the usage logs. Brian, do you understand what you're sitting on? This isn't just a licensing dispute. This is... How many systems are we talking about? 347 production servers across 12 data centers, plus development and staging environments. I showed her the telemetry dashboard I'd built. I embedded basic usage tracking in the open source components. Nothing invasive, just the kind of metrics any responsible developer includes. Version numbers, deployment counts, performance statistics. You've been tracking this the whole time? Navy habit. You document everything because someday someone's going to ask why you made a decision, and you better have data to back it up. I scrolled through 4 years of detailed logs, every deployment, every update, every configuration change. They've been using my code in ways that clearly violate the licensing terms. Jessica pulled out her tablet and started taking notes. Conservative estimate on damages? I'd already run the numbers. Commercial licenses for network security software run about $5,000 per server per year, but that's for off-the-shelf solutions. Custom protocols like mine? Industry standard is 2 to 3 times that rate. So we're talking $2.1 million in unpaid licensing fees. That's being conservative and only counting the past 3 years of documented production use. She nearly choked on her iced tea. Brian, that's not conservative. That's astronomical. Actually, it's industry standard. Check Cisco, Palo Alto, Check Point. They all charge enterprise rates for security infrastructure. And my protocols perform better than most commercial solutions because they're custom built for Apex's specific architecture. But they can just remove your code, right? I smiled for the first time that day. They can try. But here's the beautiful part. They've built their entire security posture around my algorithms. The threat detection patterns, the correlation engines, the response automation, it's all interdependent. Explain that in lawyer terms. Imagine you built a house and I provided the foundation. You can tear down the walls, repaint, renovate whatever you want. But if you remove the foundation, the whole structure collapses. Jessica was typing furiously on her tablet. This is fascinating from an IP perspective. You've essentially created technical debt that they can't easily resolve. She looked up. But Brian, once we move forward with this, there's no going back. You're declaring war on a Fortune 500 company. They declared war when they fired me over $300. I'm just deciding how to respond. She nodded slowly. Okay, here's what we need to do. First, I need to audit every line of code, every commit, every integration point. We need this case to be absolutely bulletproof. Already done. I slid a flash drive across the table. 4 years of Git history, deployment logs, system configurations, even Slack conversations where their engineers discussed implementing my protocols. You kept internal Slack logs? I built their logging infrastructure. I know where every byte lives in their systems. I paused. Or lived. They'll probably change all the passwords by end of business today. Jessica tucked the drive into her briefcase. Good. We'll need independent verification of usage anyway. What about ongoing monitoring? I pulled up my private dashboard, hosted on infrastructure Apex never knew existed. I embedded telemetry hooks in the open source components. Performance metrics, error rates, deployment statistics. Nothing malicious, just the kind of operational data any software maintainer needs. And this is legal? Completely. The license explicitly states that usage statistics may be collected for maintenance and support purposes. They agreed to those terms every time they deployed my code. The dashboard showed real-time data from Apex's systems. Everything green, my protocols humming along perfectly, processing threat data and maintaining network security, even as HR was probably processing my termination paperwork. This is incredible, Jessica said, studying the metrics. They have no idea how dependent they are on your work. They're about to find out. Ryan's already ordered his team to modernize our technical debt. He thinks my code is messy and outdated. He has no clue that every improvement he makes is going to introduce new failure modes. How long before they start having problems? I looked at the deployment timeline. Ryan's got a big quarterly release planned for next week, if his people start cleaning up my code. I shrugged. Let's just say I wouldn't want to be on call when that goes live. Jessica finished her notes and closed her tablet. Brian, I need you to understand something. What you're describing isn't just a licensing dispute. This is corporate warfare. If we're right about their dependency on your code, we're not just asking for back payments. We're holding their entire infrastructure hostage. Good, I said. Maybe next time they'll think twice before firing someone over emergency equipment that saved their company. All right then. She stood up and shook my hand. Let's go to war. I watched her walk away, already pulling out her phone to start making calls. Across town, Ryan Caldwell was probably in some executive meeting, explaining how he'd eliminated a troublesome employee and saved the company $300. He had no idea what that conversation was about to cost them. That evening, I sat in my apartment with a beer, watching the sunset over Houston. My phone had been buzzing all afternoon with texts from former colleagues who'd heard about my termination. I ignored most of them, but I did respond to Kevin Murphy, one of the senior engineers I'd worked with for years. Heard what happened. This is bullshit, man. Ryan's lost his mind. Don't worry about it, I texted back. Everything works out in the end. You need a reference, anything at all, just ask. Thanks, Kevin. Take care of yourself. I put the phone aside and opened my laptop. Time to see how my old systems were holding up without their creator around to babysit them. The answer, perfectly, for now. But Ryan's quarterly release was still a week away. The legal demand letter hit Apex's corporate counsel at exactly 9 a.m. on Monday morning. Jessica had timed it perfectly, right when everyone was settling into their week, coffee still hot, weekend cobwebs clearing from executive minds. I was sitting in my apartment watching my private monitoring dashboard while eating breakfast. 3 days had passed since my termination, and Ryan's engineering team was already making improvements to what they saw as my messy, outdated code. Friday afternoon, they'd pushed a small cleanup commit. Someone had renamed variables for readability and removed what they called redundant comments. To them, it looked like harmless housekeeping. To me, it looked like pulling load-bearing walls out of a building because they didn't match the decorator's vision. The first cracks appeared Sunday night, a minor database deadlock that self-resolved after 20 minutes. Nothing that would trigger executive attention, just a blip in the overnight batch processing. But I could see it in my telemetry, response times creeping up, error rates ticking higher. The system was starting to wobble. My phone rang at 11:30 Monday morning, unknown number, but I recognized Apex's corporate prefix. Mr. Patterson, this is Ryan Caldwell. I just received a rather disturbing letter from your attorney. His voice had lost all that Yale MBA polish. He sounded like a man who'd just discovered his house was built on quicksand. Then you should probably have your legal team contact mine, I said, keeping my tone conversational. Let's not escalate this unnecessarily. I'm confident we can resolve this situation reasonably. We could have resolved it reasonably when you refused to reimburse my $300 expense. That ship sailed when you had security escort me out. This claim for $2.1 million is based on licensing agreements that, well, our legal team is reviewing the validity of these terms. I laughed. Ryan, let me save your lawyers some billable hours. The licensing terms are explicit, documented, and legally binding. Your predecessor, Jennifer Walsh, acknowledged the arrangement in writing when she approved the initial integration. Would you like me to forward those emails? Silence. I could practically hear him sweating. Look, Brian, I understand you're upset about the termination. That was a separate business decision based on policy violations. This licensing matter it's something we need to discuss with our IP counsel. Good idea. While you're at it, you might want to discuss your upcoming quarterly release. How's that modernization effort going? More silence. Longer this time. What do you mean? Nothing specific. Just wondering how your team is handling the technical debt cleanup. Old code can be tricky to modify safely. I hung up and went back to monitoring their systems. The Monday morning batch jobs were running 15% slower than normal, still within acceptable parameters, but trending in the wrong direction. Tuesday brought the first real disaster. Ryan's team had decided to tackle what looked like inefficient database queries in my threat correlation engine. The original code used nested loops that seemed redundant, classic sign of an inexperienced programmer, they probably thought. Except those redundant loops handled a specific edge case where multiple threat signatures could overlap in ways that confused standard correlation algorithms. I discovered this edge case during a penetration test 3 years ago and built custom logic to handle it. When Ryan's team optimized my code, they removed that custom logic. At 2:47 p.m., Apex's intrusion detection system had a nervous breakdown. A routine port scan from a security vendor triggered the correlation engine, which got confused by overlapping signatures and started generating false positives. Thousands of them. The automated response system, designed to handle maybe a dozen alerts per hour, suddenly faced 3,000 simultaneous threats. It began blocking legitimate traffic, disconnecting remote workers, and quarantining critical servers. Within 30 minutes, half of Apex's workforce couldn't access email. Within an hour, customer-facing applications were timing out. By 4 p.m., their main billing system was offline. I watched it all unfold from my living room, sipping coffee and tracking the cascade failure in real time. My phone started buzzing with texts from former colleagues. Kevin Murphy. Everything's on fire here. Network security is blocking everything. Sarah from accounting can't process invoices. System says customer database is compromised. Even Rachel Davis from HR. Brian, I know this is awkward, but do you know who we should call about the network issues? I didn't respond to any of them. Let Ryan's team figure it out. They eventually did, around 6 p.m., by rolling back the optimized code and manually clearing the false positive queue. But not before 4 hours of chaos, thousands of failed transactions, and some very uncomfortable questions from Apex's board about why their supposedly robust infrastructure had collapsed from a routine security scan. Wednesday morning, I got a call from Jessica. How did you know their system would fail yesterday? I didn't know. I just knew they were modifying code they didn't understand. Failure was inevitable. I just didn't know what form it would take. Well, their legal team called. They want to negotiate. Already? They must be more scared than I thought. Brian, there's something else. Our demand letter got leaked somehow. It's all over LinkedIn and the tech blogs. Apex Energy, built on fired employees' personal code, is trending on Twitter. I pulled up my laptop and searched for the story. There it was, on TechCrunch, The Register, even Houston Business Journal. The narrative was devastating. Major energy company fires veteran engineer over $300, discovers they've been using his personal code illegally for years, now faces multi-million-dollar lawsuit. The comments section was brutal. Current and former Apex employees sharing their own stories about Ryan's modernization efforts. Competitors' recruiters openly poaching talent in the replies. Stock analysts questioning the company's technical competence. How did this leak? I asked. Probably someone in their legal department. These things have a way of getting out, especially when they're this embarrassing. By Thursday, the situation had escalated beyond Ryan's pay grade. Apex's board called an emergency meeting to discuss what they were now calling the Patterson situation. Their stock price had dropped 6% since Monday. Tech talent was updating their LinkedIn profiles, and customer inquiries about data security were flooding their support channels. That's when Kevin Murphy called me directly. Brian, man, I need to ask you something. Can you tell me honestly, how much of our security infrastructure depends on your code? Kevin was a good guy, caught in the middle of a mess he hadn't created. I decided to give him a straight answer. Kevin, remember when we integrated the ThreatGuard protocols 3 years ago? It wasn't just an add-on feature, it became the foundation for everything else we built. Meaning? Meaning if you remove my code, you don't just lose threat detection. You lose correlation analysis, automated response, even basic network monitoring. Everything depends on everything else. I could hear him typing furiously. Jesus, Brian, do they know this upstairs? They're about to. Friday afternoon, Ryan called again. This time, he wasn't alone. Mr. Patterson, this is Jennifer Walsh, Apex's Chief Legal Officer. I'm here with Ryan and several board members. We'd like to discuss a resolution to this licensing dispute. I'm listening. We're prepared to offer a settlement that includes retroactive licensing fees, plus a reasonable ongoing arrangement. We'd also like to discuss bringing you back as a consultant to help with the transition. What kind of transition? Ryan's voice was barely audible. We might need help understanding some of the code dependencies before we make any more modifications. I smiled. You mean you broke something else? We've had some unexpected interactions between system components. Nothing major, but we'd prefer to have the original developer review any changes going forward. Translation. They were afraid to touch anything else. Send me a written offer, I said. My attorney will review it. After I hung up, I sat back and looked at my monitoring dashboard. Green lights across the board. My code was running perfectly, keeping Apex's infrastructure stable, processing threats and maintaining security just like it had for the past 4 years. The only difference was that now everyone knew who'd built it. And more importantly, everyone knew what happened when you didn't appreciate the people who keep your lights on. The quarterly release that was supposed to launch Monday? Indefinitely postponed. Ryan's career at Apex? That was on a much shorter timeline. The settlement meeting was scheduled for the following Wednesday at Apex's downtown offices. Same building where I'd been escorted out 3 weeks earlier, but this time I was walking in as their most expensive vendor. The conference room was packed. Board Chair Margaret Stevens, CEO David Park joining via video from Dallas, Jennifer Walsh leading their legal team, and Ryan Caldwell sitting at the far end of the table looking like a man attending his own funeral. "Mr. Patterson," Margaret began, "thank you for meeting with us. We've reviewed your licensing claims in detail, and while we disagree with some of the valuations, we're prepared to discuss a reasonable settlement. Jessica had coached me on this. Start high. Let them negotiate down to where we actually wanted to be." "I'm listening." Jennifer Walsh slid a document across the table. "We're offering $1.2 million in retroactive licensing fees, plus an annual licensing agreement of $120,000 for ongoing use of your protocols. I didn't even look at the papers. That's about 60% of documented usage value. Not acceptable." "Mr. Patterson," the CEO said through the video screen, "we have to be realistic here. The company can't simply absorb a $2 million expense without significant budget impact. You should have thought about that before you terminated the person who built your security infrastructure." I looked directly at Ryan. "Over $300. Ryan finally spoke up, his voice barely audible. "Brian, I want you to know that the termination decision was based solely on policy compliance. It wasn't personal." I stared at him for a long moment. "Ryan, you fired a Navy veteran during hurricane recovery for buying emergency equipment with his own money. Then you refused to reimburse him. How exactly wasn't that personal?" The room went dead silent. Margaret Stevens cleared her throat. "Perhaps we should focus on moving forward constructively. I agree. Here's my counteroffer. Full payment of $2.1 million for retroactive licensing, plus $180,000 annually for ongoing use. And I want a public statement acknowledging that Apex's infrastructure was built with contributions from its engineering staff." Their legal team huddled for about 10 minutes. I could see them doing the math. Cost of settlement versus cost of replacing my code, factoring in system downtime, development time, and the public relations nightmare that was getting worse by the day. Finally, Jennifer Walsh spoke. "We can agree to $1.8 million retroactive, $150,000 annual, and a carefully worded public acknowledgement. That's our final offer." I looked at Jessica. She nodded slightly. "Deal. But I want one more thing." "What's that?" Margaret asked. "A consulting contract to help with any future modifications to the security protocols. My rate is $250 per hour, minimum 4-hour blocks." Ryan's face went pale. He knew what that meant. Every time his team wanted to modernize something, they'd have to pay me to tell them why they shouldn't. "Agreed," Margaret said quickly. "Can we have papers drawn up by end of week?" 3 days later, I signed the settlement agreement in Jessica's office. $1.8 million plus $150,000 per year, plus consulting fees. The biggest payday of my life, all because some MBA thought $300 was too much to spend on hurricane emergency response. But the real satisfaction came that afternoon when Kevin Murphy called. "Brian, you're not going to believe this. Ryan got terminated an hour ago, effective immediately. They had security walk him out just like they did to you. What was the official reason? Failure to maintain critical infrastructure stability. But everyone knows it's because he created this entire mess. The board blamed him for everything. The system failures, the legal costs, the bad publicity. Guy went from corporate golden boy to unemployment line in 3 weeks. I felt a momentary twinge of sympathy. Then I remembered his smile when he denied my reimbursement. What about his replacement? They promoted Jennifer Walsh to interim CTO while they searched for someone with actual technical experience. First thing she did was freeze all modifications to security protocols until they can hire competent staff. Smart move. It would probably save them another few million in consulting fees. 6 months later, I was sitting in my new office overlooking Buffalo Bayou, reviewing client contracts for Patterson Security Protocols, LLC. What started as revenge against one company had turned into something much bigger. Word travels fast in the energy sector. Within weeks of the Apex settlement, I was getting calls from competitors who wanted their own ThreatGuard implementations. Then came the oil companies, the pipeline operators, even some financial firms that handled energy trading. My little consulting practice now had 12 major clients and a waiting list. I'd hired 2 developers to help with implementations and support, both of them former Apex engineers who'd gotten tired of Jennifer Walsh's stabilize everything approach. Josh got into Texas A&M with a partial academic scholarship, but between the settlement money and my consulting income, we could afford full tuition without touching his college fund. He's studying computer engineering now and sometimes calls asking about network security theory. I tell him the same thing the Navy taught me. Understand your systems completely, document everything, and always have a backup plan. Ryan Caldwell lasted 8 months at his next job, a startup in Austin that made the mistake of hiring him to revolutionize their technical infrastructure. I heard through the tech community grapevine that they fired him after he tried to replace their entire code base with off-the-shelf solutions that couldn't handle their specific requirements. Some people never learn. Last month, I got an invitation to speak at the Houston Technology Leadership Summit. Topic: Building Resilient Infrastructure Through Technical Excellence. The irony wasn't lost on me. They wanted the guy who'd been fired over $300 to teach executives about valuing technical expertise. I accepted. The speaking fee was $5,000 plus expenses. My phone buzzes with another licensing inquiry. A pipeline company that heard about my work through Apex wants to discuss implementation. I check their leadership team first. Standard procedure now. No Yale MBAs, no strategic technology leaders, no one who thinks synergy is a technical term. I type back, happy to discuss how we can build something that actually protects your infrastructure, because that's what it was always about. Not the money, though the $1.8 million was nice. Not the revenge, though watching Ryan's career implode was satisfying. It was about building systems that work, solving real problems, creating something that keeps the lights on when everything else fails. The $300 network analyzer that started this whole mess is still running in my home lab, monitoring client systems and catching threats before they become crises. I keep the original denied expense report framed on my office wall right next to my Navy discharge papers and Josh's A&M acceptance letter. The report serves as a reminder that sometimes the smallest battles teach you how to win the biggest wars. And sometimes getting fired is the best thing that can happen to your career. 3 years later, my protocols are running in data centers across North America. Ryan is working at some regional IT consulting firm, hopefully learning humility. Josh is designing circuit boards and talking about graduate school. And me? I'm building the next generation of security protocols, working with clients who understand that good engineering is worth paying for. They fired me over $300. My freedom to build something meaningful, that turned out to be priceless. The best part isn't the money or the success or even the professional vindication. It's knowing that somewhere in server rooms and data centers across the energy sector, my code is running quietly in the background, protecting infrastructure, catching threats, keeping the digital world spinning. All because someone decided $300 was worth more than the person who kept their lights on. Their loss. My gain. And the beginning of something much bigger than either of us ever imagined. Because here's what they never taught Ryan at Yale Business School. When you treat skilled professionals like expenses instead of assets, you don't just lose their expertise, you turn them into your competition. And in the real world where code meets commerce, that's a lesson worth exactly $1.8 million.